Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Evans. I'm the Director of Training at Hopdoddy Burger Bar. And I was once at a chart conference, and I was catching up with a friend, and we were talking about how our conference was going so far, and she was really enjoying it. She was learning a lot, doing some good networking, and then it was my turn to share, and there was a palpable difference in how enthusiastic I was about my experience. I was trying to put my finger on what that difference was when she mentioned she felt a little alone in the in-between, like between the sessions. Who do I eat with? Who do I talk to? And that's when I realized the difference was that I was involved. I was actually on the chart conference team at that conference. Now, Chart puts together some of the best conferences, and I am certain that you are going to have an incredible return on investment just from being here in knowledge gained and experiences shared and all of the networking opportunities. But there is a serious return on investment for volunteering. So I'm going to share a few experiences with you, a few examples of how you can volunteer through my own personal experiences. And I'm going to include the level or tier of lift that it takes, see what I did there, volunteering, and what you're gonna get in return. The easiest way to give back or volunteer is to sign up for a service event or a volunteer spot at a conference. The lift is super light, the time commitment is super short. All you have to do is sign up and then show up. So a service event usually has some level of light labor, but work is always more fun when you're surrounded by your friends, and nothing beats that feeling of that helper's high, right? Did you know that when you help others, it actually lights up the parts of your brain that make you feel joy and connection and purpose? I first met Julius playing basketball at the offsite in Seattle, and we further solidified our bond. Is there a little bit of an echo? We further solidified our bond later that night when we realized we were both volunteering for the hospitality suite. So Julius was a first-time attendee at that conference, and he ended up giving me his memorable moments pin, which is really, truly special. So as you can see, tier 1 is a super light lift, super easy, and the ROI is the chance to give back, it's having fun, and it's making great connections. Notice, those 3 ROIs are gonna be a part of every single thing we talk about today. So stepping into volunteer 2, I consider being on the conference team and presenting a breakout more of a tier 2 because there's a little bit more preparation involved, a little more time involved, right? The first time I was on a conference team, I was one of the hospitality directors in Las Vegas. Talk about getting initiated, y'all. Trainers know how to party, so it got a little wild, but what happens in the hospitality suite stays in the hospitality suite section of Lisa's photo album. It was a lot of fun, truly. But no matter what role you play on the conference team, you're gonna have really great opportunities to collaborate and communicate and organize. So you've got some really great leadership skill building opportunities there. And it's on a different level than you're used to because you're working with like-minded individuals that you may not even know yet. And you do get to partner with somebody, you have a co-director, so you don't have to do all of the hard work yourself, right? It's kind of like being on a group project in high school, except you don't have to do all the work because everybody wants to be there. But truly, being on the conference team is my favorite. It brings me so much joy. Not only do you get really great conference insights, a little behind the scenes, but it's a really rewarding experience getting to see it all come together, an amazing experience for you all, the attendees. So next we have presenting a breakout. This is a little bit of a lift too. You have to do a little preparation. It takes a little time. You've got to create the content. You've got to practice the content. And well, ultimately you have to facilitate, which that can be a little daunting depending on your level of stage fright or flavor of imposter syndrome. But it's a really awesome opportunity to create something of your own. You get to brush up on some more of your public speaking skills, practice your presentation skills, and there is truly no better audience to practice content on than the wonderful, helpful, gracious people of Chart. Thank you. Okay, next up, we're stepping into Volunteer 3. So facilitating a competency. This takes a ton of work for preparation because you are working on delivering 4 hours of content. Thankfully, you do have a co-facilitator, so they get to help kind of lighten that load. But you have to really get the flow of the presentation. You might even have to brush up and kind of study up on some of the concepts. But it is such an incredible opportunity because it really forces you to get more intimately familiar with the subject. So of course you still have all of these opportunities for practicing the collaboration and the presentation skills and all of those things, but you know what we say, to teach is to learn twice. Facilitating project management was a game changer for me. It really shined a light on all of the ways I was totally skimping when it came to the planning phase of projects. And if you know anything about project management, that gets really crazy and messy when it comes to actual execution. So what I learned preparing to facilitate that class exponentially evolved how my organization works together both to plan, but to carry out those projects cross-departmentally, working well together to succeed. For me, I got a bonus ROI on this one. I gained a new mentor and a friend for life. So, can't promise that'll happen for you, but it happened for me. And then we have being conference director. This role takes a lot more time, right? There's a lot of preparation that goes into putting together a conference. There's a lot of communication, a lot of organization. Honestly, the main role is just following up to support the team to make sure they feel really comfortable with their duties, right? This is another opportunity to get really awesome conference planning insights. I learned so much from being on the conference team that I've been able to take back to my own organization. So it's really invaluable if you do help with planning conferences in your own organization. #steal shamelessly. Question for the group. Have any of you ever had that moment where you're like, man, I wish I could clone myself? Okay, laughter, I'll accept that. I see some hands. So the conference team, obviously everyone on the team brings their own unique skill sets, their own unique personalities, but everyone also brings their A game with hard work and creativity and heart. And I gotta tell you, working with a group of trainers in this capacity is the closest I have ever been to cloning myself. But truly, when I say being on the conference team is my favorite, leading the conference team is the cream of the crop. It reminded me how much I love to lead a team, and not everybody gets that opportunity in your own organization. So, yeah. I once heard Kurt Archambault say, "Cliques suck unless you're in one." And you are already a part of this clique, and getting involved in Chart is how you fully immerse yourself in it. So there are tons of ways to get involved outside of the examples I just gave. Everything from regional training forums to hosting webinars to sitting on panels to writing articles. No matter what you do, you are always going to get back more than you give. So if you want to start now, be sure to visit the Chart booth at the resource gallery later on today to express interest. And we still have opportunities to volunteer at this very conference. So all you have to do is scan that QR code and sign up for a spot that works best for you. I hope that you'll join us because the effort that you put in is always going to be worth what you get back when you step into that next tier. Thank you.